just easily crinkling into my hand. I tell you, it's amazing how dry this leaf really is. You can find things in your backyard to make biochar. Today, we're using wood chips. Booster seats need to be checked as well. The thing to remember here is the positioning of the seat belt. Parents need to make sure the upper half of the seat belt crosses the child's shoulders and the lower part crosses the hips. Helping to save the environment is not an easy task, but it's not hard either. I mean, it's as simple as dropping this plastic bottle into the recycle bin or putting your name on a petition. This month's project is to prep this bed for a winter vegetable garden. I know a lot of people that may be a little hesitant to even utter the words, "I have a high chance at getting a job and keeping a job during these tough times." But for some students, they can say those words with confidence. For some, this may be the sound of pain, but for others, it's the sound of a secure future. The dentist is the place to be when you're thinking about finding a secure job.
Our particular program and job, as well as any of the allied health, are pretty recession-proof.
No, you're not losing your hearing. You heard her correctly. Dentistry is one of the careers where you have a high guarantee of getting and keeping a job. And it leaves some students pretty confident.
But I'm pretty sure I've got one lined up.
Did you know that dentistry is number 8 on the list for recession-proof jobs? While other jobs are at a standstill, the demand for dental hygienists is going up.
Yay! That makes me really excited. I'm glad.
Coming to class is pretty important. These students need to be well prepared because right after graduation, they're usually headed straight to work. So when they gear up, it's like they're in the real world. It's considered to be a classroom, but these students use real patients and real instruments to prepare them for the workforce. The students aren't the only ones benefiting. Their patients can get a chance to say yay too.
It saves you some money. You know, you pay with your time. You don't necessarily pay with your money so much.
Now, dental hygiene is very competitive. Athens Tech receives over 100 applicants each quarter, but they can only accept 16. Dental hygiene at Athens Tech guarantees students a job and saves the patients some money. So I guess those sharp instruments and drilling noises don't sound so bad anymore. Now, dental hygiene is not the only recession-proof job. The jobs can range anywhere from a surgeon to a firefighter. And I mean, this is a good thing to know that there are careers that you can enter and enter them with confidence. I didn't know about biochar until today, and I found out that it's like the black gold for agriculture. It's a very important material, but it can't make itself. As materials fly into the burner, out comes biochar. Biochar is a charcoal produced from biomass that can store carbon, and that's the key, storing carbon. UGA research engineer Brian Bibbins looks for different ways to apply biochar for agriculture, odor control, or even using it as a fuel. This material is made by a process called pyrolysis. Pyrolysis is, well, I'll let the professional tell you.
Basically, in the absence of oxygen, and you heat it up to such an intensity that it causes the molecules to crack and vaporize. And what you get left behind with is this carbon structure that we call biochar.
In layman's terms,
taking carbon out of the atmosphere and putting it into the soil.
Brian loads the carbonizer with biomass and the biochar making begins. At about 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, the materials are cooked and turned into renewable goods such as crude oil. You can find things in your backyard to make biochar. Today, we're using wood chips. One of the reasons that biochar is so promising is that it has the potential to reverse global warming. Biochar is placed into soil, and the soil acts like an enormous carbon pool. It keeps carbon trapped, reducing carbon emissions in the atmosphere. Biochar sounds like a great plan for saving our planet, but
the problem with biomass is that the energy density of biomass is really low, and so it doesn't really make it economical to use it as an energy source.
Even though biochar isn't economically usable here in the U.S. yet, it's being successfully applied in Africa. Now, I think it's interesting that you can use just about anything to produce something so valuable. You saw that I used wood chips today to produce biochar, but we also could have used peanut shells or even chicken manure. Recess. It's the time of day almost every student looks forward to. Some students at Barrow Elementary are giving up their 20 minutes of recess to engage in volunteer work. It's called Alternative Recess, and it takes place on the third Wednesday of every month. Mimi Elliott-Gower oversees the program and says students have responded well so far.
It's amazing because what can't happen with 1 or 2 people or in 20 minutes over the course of a day we've had 200 students average sign up to work, and that's a lot of hours of work. We can get a lot of work done.
Past projects include weeding and organizing bookshelves.
This month's project is to prep this bed for a winter vegetable garden.
Even though this month's project can be a little dirty, students still chose to skip recess in hopes of making a difference.
Why did you choose to come rake all this dirt instead of go play on the playground?
Well, I don't know. It just helps out the school and makes the school look better. And I drive by this part every day, and sometimes it just doesn't look very good.
Many students still find a way to have fun while working, but there are those who can't bring themselves to give up their recess time.
You've never done it? You always come and play?
Yeah.
Why don't you want to go do the alternative recess?
Because I want to play with my friends.
Barrow Elementary wants to keep the program going for as long as possible and hopes the students will continue to participate. Yashanti Ransom, News Source 15.